Our first guest of the evening, most recently, some of you may have known him. He was previously on 98.5 in the morning, the Scott and Jeff show. Yeah, that's amazing. All right. He currently does some satellite radio. He is most known around Cleveland for his stand-up comedy, and he does tour nationally. Please welcome right now Mr. Jeff Blanchard.
Steve was talking to about Anthony Weiner. The nice thing about being a comedian is, besides the fact that inherently just the idea that someone named Weiner was sent to Congress when there's so many dicks already there, and I'm not sure if that'll get on the air, but I'm sure the FCC will probably have a red flag, just a bar across my mouth. It's a simple fact that it brings up something else that you shouldn't do, and the problem, of course, is the simple fact, gentlemen, of sending pictures of, and I'll use the clinical term, junk, to the phone. And ladies, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, does any women, any of you ladies would you want to receive a picture of somebody? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is that something that you're looking forward to with the smartphone technology? When they come out with the 4G, did you go, wow, I'll get my junk pictures quicker? You know what I mean? Wow, it's almost like 3D, you know? Because, God, it's serious. This is the kind of stuff, and I mean, I don't know about you, partner, and I'm not picking on, but you're a little older, you know what I'm saying? So when you had to pick up women when you were young, you would probably, draw a picture, you know what I mean? Yeah, we lie, so he's like a poster boy, you know what I mean? Did you see this? I won't get wet when it rains.
All right, well, let's talk about comedy.
All right.
Obviously, you do stand-up comedy. One thing I think a lot of folks...
now.
Yeah, there you go. Pays the bills.
Yeah, well...
So, yeah. One thing a lot of folks don't know is that you actually started an improv troupe. It's probably what it currently is the longest-running improv group in Cleveland. It's called Something Dada.
Yep.
And it started...
1995.
1995.
Back in May of 1995. Down in West 6th Street, we opened the first improv theater that Cleveland has ever had, called Cabaret Dada. In the basement, right now the Liquid, it's a bar now. But it used, when we opened, there was, the RTA building was being built, there was the Grid across the street, and Checkers was this restaurant, this greasy spoon that stayed open 24 hours a day. But by the time we got over there at night, after we were, done with the shows, the cook and the waitress were so drunk usually that they would just let us cook our own food. So it was like kind of having our own kitchen for the theater.
So what now? You had a background in improv? Is that how we got into that?
Right. Yeah, I worked with a group called Giant Portions in Cleveland first, and then had also then worked with after Dada started, went up and worked with Del Close before he died.
Okay. And Something Dada, of course, is still around. If you folks don't know, Jeff doesn't partake so much anymore.
Not at all.
Not at all. But it is still around, and they actually are here.
You mean of Dada or
Dada?
Oh,
Dada.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
Right.
I thought you meant other stuff.
I'm not sure what you're going with there, but...
Yeah, come on.
All right, fair enough. Let's try to keep it clean, Jeff.
It is clean.
Yeah, no, it's great. Now, so what came first, stand-up comedy or improv?
Actually...
Did one fuel the other?
Actually, theater came first.
Okay.
I was actually classically trained. I mean, doing Shakespeare and Mammon. Oh, yeah, that's what I do.
You are very dramatic.
I know I am. I'm a well-crafted and, well-read person. I could have answered all those questions that you had on Hillbilly Day over here. You know what I mean? And it's amazing that the teacher, the special ed teacher, was worried about her job as she held a beer at the Kenny Chesney concert.
She was nervous.
What day was that, by the way?
It was a Thursday.
Oh,
it was
sure.
last.
Is school in session? No.
School's not in session. It's okay.
I'm sure that would have stopped her.
Right.
But I started, but I used to do a lot of improv work in
theater,
much to the chagrin of my directors, when you had a script, and I would,
You were that guy.
Yeah. And then basically, everything I've done in performing has been to avoid a regular job.
How's that working out for you?
Great. I
Okay.
have not held a regular job since I was like, the last time I was bartending, which really was a big mistake for me, to put me in a setting where there's a lot of booze within reach. You know what I mean? Behind.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I mean, people got some, you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you want to call it customers, they got a little bit of it, you know, but, you know, I was the Jimmy DeMora of the bartending.
Of the bar.
world.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
my cut was always substantially bigger than the people who actually paid for it, you know?
So how long have you actually been doing stand-up comedy then?
First time was an open mic, 1986, when I was 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think you were. You're not that old.
No, I'm not that old. I'm
Yeah.
not that young, but I'm not that old.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jeff Blanchard going to join us here for the next segment. Now, our next segment, we realize probably a lot of you go to bars. I go to bars. Do you go to bars?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also said that you bartended.
Yes.
And I think, you know, a lot of people probably have
I
at some
enjoy a
point.
good bar.
One of the fun things about bartending are the random questions that you get asked by your patrons, who always seem to think that you are going to have the greatest advice in the world.
That's because bartenders do.
Yeah, absolutely, because they know what they're doing.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They tell you whatever you want to hear, pretty much.
No. Bartenders have a keen instinct into the human condition.
Absolutely. So at any rate, what we did is we had people submit questions and asking our bartender for advice. And we are going to read some of these questions. If you want to help us out, because this is a regular segment, email them, steveguy@uplate-tv.com. Put in the little subject line there, bartender, and throw some questions that you've heard, or maybe you're a little too embarrassed to actually ask the bartender, even though you've had 18 drinks. You know, but you can ask our bartender.
Anything.
And he'll ask you. So, this is what we like to call advice from the bartender. This one, I presume is from a lady. They're all anonymous.
Okay.
There is a guy I'm friends with who only sees me as that, but he admits I'm attractive. He recently became single, and I told him I have a twin sister that I want to hook him up with. I really want to go out with him. I don't actually have a twin. What should I do?
I think that's my neighbor, by the way.
I believe that is a fairly pretty easy question right there. It's really simple. You just go with it. You just pretend as though there is two of you. The reason that being is because when the one girl, the other half of you, does something bad, he doesn't like that, you could blame that on the bad one, on the bad twin, okay? So then, and not only that, you can also get like extra stuff. Like if you're trying to like get like little gifts, one day you're like, oh babe, I want a hat. And then he's like, okay, I'll buy you a hat. And then he goes out with the other one, and he's like, oh, babe, I want like a purse. Next thing you know, week after week, you would just ensembled yourself a whole outfit.
This one I presume is from a man. My wife has a smoking hot sister who happens to be a stripper.
Oh, that old story.
Yeah. We've slept together a few times, and I actually think I might be in love with her. Should I tell my wife and risk a divorce to be with the sister, or just continue to hide it?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I won't lie to you, okay? But I'm good at mathematics, as I told everybody. I graduated from Tri-C. And I'm going to tell you something. Here's the math, and it's pretty simple, okay? You plus stripper plus lies automatically equals divorce, okay? You should never tell it. You should never even bring it up. It's just simple math. Okay, you plus stripper anytime just equals bad news, okay? It just doesn't even...
With the wife, yeah.
With the wife. And that divorce will divide half of your stuff, pretty much. I'm just doing math here.
This one is right up your alley here. I can tell this comes
It's up in my alley.
Well, it comes from probably one of your friends. The dentist says I need to get my wisdom teeth pulled, but I'm worried. Are they really attached to the intelligence part of your brain?
Really? This is a real question? Is this something that they really, okay, you know what? This is my answer, okay? You tell whoever emailed this question to us to come meet me. If you're in this audience, you meet me after the show, and I'll knock out all your teeth, and then you won't have to worry about being dumb or stupid ever